and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick, and today we're going to bring some artworks into your living room and a little bit of an art lesson and give you a chance to learn a little bit more about the paintings. My guest today is James Warwick Jones. Welcome, James.
Thanks, Robin.
Thanks for coming back. I'm so excited because I think this is an opportunity to intrigue people so they'll want to come to your gallery, which is the Charles Taylor Art Center, but also for people who can't get out to just bring a little bit of fun and culture to them, and I think this is great.
It's a nice idea. Thanks for the opportunity.
Good. So these paintings that you've got are from your current show, which runs through?
It runs through July the 8th. It's open now. It's called 100 Paintings by 100 Hampton Roads artists. And I brought about 6 paintings today, so this is just a small sampling.
Good.
Of the
And
works
so
in the show.
Then all of these are local artists?
They're all from Hampton Roads, 7 cities.
Great. Well, let's just jump right in and have you start talking us through what you've got here.
Okay. This first painting is a landscape by Jenny Windsor, who's from Virginia Beach. And I was watching Jenny paint years ago, and the image she had, a lot of artists use photographs for references. The photograph that she had was blurry and out of focus, and I couldn't imagine doing a painting from that photograph. And she said, well, I really don't want to paint an exact rendering of the landscape or the subject. I want to have my impression of it. So the fact that she was using a photograph that was out of focus actually made that easier.
That's interesting. So she deliberately took that blurry photo.
Exactly. It was more about how she felt about the subject.
Right. You still
than
get
an
the
exact
light
rendering of it.
and the idea of it.
Correct.
Oh.
Okay.
That's interesting. Okay.
This next painting is by Jeanette Belote, whose husband is also an artist, Paul. This is a painting of her husband, and it's called Paul's B-17 Dream. And it was sort of like a surreal experience that he had. His brother was killed in a B-17 crash, and he had a premonition of that. Not his brother, must have been his uncle or an older relative,
right.
World War II. But there was a premonition of that. And in recollection, Paul's other relative loved to build airplane models, and the B-17 was one that he built. So it's sort of a strange, kind of a surreal connection, and this is a painting of Paul asleep, and in the background, very faintly, not sure if you can see it on your screen, there is a suggestion of a B-17
Oh, I can
flying.
see a little bit of a shadow there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's one you really have to look at to, and the name of the painting there helps you kind of look for that
Exactly.
a little bit.
Some artists like to create kind of a mystery. They don't want to tell us everything. They want the viewer to interpret the painting in their own way. Others give us a hint, like in the title. These next 2 paintings are actually from a series of 12 paintings by Nicki. Now, that's not a Hampton name. She was born in the Netherlands. She and her husband travel all around the world. She likes to connect with the local people. They don't stay in 4-star hotels. They travel very modestly and connect with the people. The painting on the right is actually a self-portrait. And what she did was take her own features of her face, her coloring, the complexion, the hair color, and she translated that and imagined what she would look like if, in this case, she was born in India. So if you look at the paintings, you'll see a very strong similarity between the features, but they're transformed into this other ethnic group.
Isn't that interesting? Because I was looking at these before we started, and I was looking at the eyes and the shape of the lips and seeing the similarity and wondering, exactly what that was about.
So she has 12 paintings in this series of all different nationalities and races.
Oh, that's interesting.
Notice that the earrings are exactly the same in each one.
Oh, now see, I didn't get to the earrings. There you go. I was just looking at the shape of the features, but of course then things change, and the eyebrows are different, but you still have that core essence, kind of looking out at you in the eyes.
And this is a very contemporary idea, and the exhibition has very traditional paintings. landscape, still life, portrait, figure, the traditional subjects, but it also has very contemporary ideas and styles. There's abstract painting and surrealism and impressionism. Just about any art movement is represented in the show.
That's great. Okay, what's up next?
Okay, this is an artist, Eleanor Powell, who's actually 90 years old.
Oh my.
Now, I was just talking about my brother who's retired. Most people look forward to their retirement years where they stop working. Artists actually are, I think, almost the opposite. As long as their health allows, they paint till they're 90 or 100 years old. And in some cases, they actually have more time to paint when they retire. Now, if you're familiar with the works of M.C. Escher, he's an artist who used sort of optical illusion and space in very unusual ways. So looking at this painting, which first of all is an odd shape, it's a 2, 4, 6, it's a 6-sided canvas instead of a 4-sided, but there's a real illusion about space. Which way is the cube facing? And it's sort of like an optical illusion, op art. Very colorful, but a limited range of colors.
It is. When I walked in here this morning, it was against the black background.
Yeah.
And I literally looked a few times before I thought, is that a sculpture or a painting? Because the black looked like it was not there. You know, you were seeing through to the black curtain and there were holes. And I thought, well, it is three-dimensional. It literally is. I don't know if that comes across on TV, but you can really see it in person.
Each artist has their own personality, and that comes through in their painting. This next painting is by Casey Sidner Carneal, who lives in Gloucester. And Casey's never had an art class. She's a folk artist, so she's developed her own way of working on her own without any academic training. This one is called Adams and Eves. And in the foreground, you see a series of men. And I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure these are friends of hers who all happen to be named Adam.
Oh.
In the background, there are 3 figures, all Eve. Apparently she knew more Adams than she did Eves. But you see the traditional symbolism, the apple trees, their baskets of apples. And around the border of the frame, Casey's actually painted the title over and over again. So in her work, she often paints not just the painting, but also paints the frame. And the wonderful pattern, the checkerboard pattern, there's stars in the sky, the apples repeated. Just a very lively painting. Most of her work has a kind of a whimsical sense of humor too, but always dealing with an interesting idea.
Yeah, that's very different than the others. Very graphic, and the folk also has those images of almost quilt-like, you know,
exactly,
with the
very much so, and very flat. Not much illusion of space. Each artist has that own quality of their own. Although I just brought 6 paintings today, if we brought or looked at 10 of paintings by each of the artists, you would know immediately these were done by that artist. So it reflects their personality. This next painting is by a person very skilled academically. She has her master's degree in painting. She teaches at William and Mary. And the figure at the center here looking out toward us is actually the artist, Nicole, Santiago. And there are 11 figures in the painting. The painting is called Lost. And if we start over on the left side there, you actually see the artist at work. She has a paintbrush and her palette. And there's a figure next to her, and she's drawing a red circle on the bare stomach of the figure. Now, what does that suggest? Moving over, you see a woman in a wedding dress with a bouquet. Now, we don't see her head. Some of the figures, they're cropped by the top of the canvas. And then over to the right, you see a mother and a child walking. You see a wonderful, lively portrait of a dog. There are actually 3 different portraits of the dog in the painting also. And then on the others, we see 3 more figures silhouetted. And again, they're at different stages of pregnancy. Now, Nicole is a new mother. She has a beautiful little daughter. And this is a painting she did, I suspect, during her pregnancy. A very important life or event in anyone's life, having a child. So this painting is all about children having a first child, and she's represented herself in different stages of that event. Again, a very personal painting.
So all of this is about her, from the excuse me, from the artist to the target belly to the. All right, how do the dogs fit in? Is that part of the mothering instinct in some ways?
I think
or
some childless couples or some single people that don't have children, the dog almost becomes like a surrogate child. People dress them up. They're very much a part of the family, as they are for all of us that have pets. So I think it's good practice for having a child to have a pet, something you have to take care of.
Okay. That's interesting. I think I'm glad you talked me through that, because I might have gotten it, but it would have taken me a while.
Well,
so
and
you
really need to spend some time when you're looking at art, thinking about it, trying to figure out what's happening. And usually there are clues. You mentioned the title, which is often a clue. Or in this case, if you look carefully, the figure, the self-portrait, there's a black sleeveless top with a green pleated skirt. So you can tell that's the same figure. So there are always clues that the artists give us, although sometimes they make it difficult for us because they like to challenge the viewer to figure out what the painting is about. But it's an important part about painting and art, the way you interpret it.
Okay.
I always say it's really not art until somebody looks at it. So you can be in your studio painting, but the other half of the equation is people looking at it and enjoying it, trying to figure it out.
Right, it's that interaction.
Exactly right.
Okay. And was that all, or did we go through them?
I think that's
it.
it.
We did. Okay,
but we have 94 more. So come to the Art Center and see the other ones.
94 more. Okay, and tell us the gallery hours again.
We're open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 6. Saturday and Sunday, 1 to 5. Closed Monday, but we're usually there working. So if you knock on the door, we'll probably let you in. So hope you'll come out and visit.
And the cost of this?
The best part is free admission.
That's great.
We do have a contribution box, but it's free admission.
And you know, it is one of those things where you can, you've got kids at home this summer, they're out of school. Kids can really appreciate paintings. They don't appreciate it maybe the same way you do, but you know, kids love art and color and light, and you know, it's a great place.
It's a wonderful experience for the family. Oftentimes I'll see a parent with a child, and they're talking to the child about the painting, asking them, what do you see? How do you feel? What do you think about this painting? So it's a wonderful way to connect with your children or anybody.
Right, it is. Or your parents, you know, it's a multi-generational
Exactly.
thing. Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming by so much. And since you change exhibits about every 5 weeks, we can look forward to you coming back.
Love to come back again. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, James. Thanks for being here.
Okay.
And thank you for watching Round Robin.